During the formation of chemical bond, energy decreases. Now, what is the meaning of intensive property? It is the property whose value is not dependent on the amount of substance. Unidentate ligand, the number of ligands which is present around, and if it is a unidentate ligand, it's equal to the number of coordination bonds. Hello my dear students, welcome back to part 2 of Karnataka CET 2007 chemistry paper. 21st question we shall see. Denatured alcohol is rectified spirit, undistilled ethanol, option C rectified spirit plus methanol plus naphtha, or option D ethanol plus methanol. See, denatured alcohol means the alcohol which is made unfit for drinking, and option C is right, that is rectified spirit plus methanol plus naphtha, or we can add even pyridine there and make alcohol unfit for drinking. So option C is the correct answer. We'll go to the next question. During the formation of chemical bond, energy decreases, energy increases, energy of the system does not change, electron-electron repulsion becomes more than the nucleus-electron attraction. See, during the formation of chemical bond, why exactly chemical bonds are formed? So that the bonds which is formed, there is lot of energy which is released, and the molecule will have less energy and more stability. So always remember, when the molecule is more stable, they'll have less energy, and during the formation of chemical bond, they will lose energy, and hence the energy of the molecule decreases. Thus, option A is the correct answer. That is, during the formation of chemical bond, energy decreases. Okay. Next question. 1 mole of oxygen at 273 Kelvin and 1 mole of sulfur dioxide at 546 Kelvin are taken in 2 separate containers. Then kinetic energy of oxygen is greater than kinetic energy of sulfur dioxide. Kinetic energy of oxygen is less than kinetic energy of sulfur dioxide. Kinetic energy of both are equal. None of these. So here, how is kinetic energy related to temperature? They have just given that 1 mole of both the oxygen are one present in 273 Kelvin, the other one is present at 546 Kelvin. So how is it related? We know that kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 RT, correct? So kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 RT. So I can tell that kinetic energy is proportional to T. So I'll take kinetic energy of oxygen by kinetic energy of sulfur dioxide, and temperature in which oxygen is present is 273 Kelvin and sulfur dioxide is at 546 Kelvin, which is nothing but equal to 1 by 2. So I can write as kinetic energy of sulfur dioxide, okay, is equal to 2 times kinetic energy of oxygen. So which is greater? Sulfur dioxide is double that of oxygen. So obviously kinetic energy of sulfur dioxide is greater than oxygen. So option B, kinetic energy of oxygen is lesser, kinetic energy of sulfur dioxide is greater. So option B is the correct answer. Correct? So we'll go to the next question. Plus psi effect is shown by. See, plus psi effect means electron push ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. It is pushing away from itself, isn't it? That is plus psi effect. So we'll see which is the one which shows plus psi effect. NO2 group, it pulls the electron towards itself. Chlorine pulls towards itself. Bromine also pulls towards itself. Should push away from itself. So it is CH3 which is showing the plus I effect. Okay. So it is electron donating group or electron releasing group, we will call it as. Next one is formation of colored solution is possible when metal ion in the compounds contain paired electrons, unpaired electrons, lone pair electrons, None of these. See, for the formation of colored solutions in D block elements, we have learned the main criteria for the color of the solution is the presence of unpaired electron which will undergo DD transition, isn't it? So, it is unpaired electron. Option B is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following is an intensive property? A. Temperature. B. Surface tension. C. Viscosity. D. All of these. Now, what is the meaning of intensive property? It is the property whose value is not dependent on the amount of substance, isn't it? So, whatever be the amount of substance, its value will not be dependent on the amount. It is independent of the amount of substance present in the system. So, temperature does not depend in the amount of substance. Surface tension also is intensive property. Viscosity is also intensive property. Thus, option D is the correct answer. Okay. Next question. Hoffman's bromamide reaction is to convert amine to amide, amide to amine, alcohol to acid, acid to alcohol. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಓದಿದ್ರೇನೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಹಾಫ್ಮನ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೋಮಮೈಡ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್, ಬ್ರೋಮಮೈಡ್ ಡಿಗ್ರೇಡೇಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಅಮೈಡ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಅಮೈನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Correct? No. So, it is from amide to amine. So, option B, Hoffman's bromamide degradation reaction is for the conversion of an amide to amine. Okay. So, it is option B. Next question. IUPAC name of Na3CONO2 6 times is. First, I'll calculate the oxidation number. Okay. So, it is plus 3 plus x plus minus 6 is equal to 0. That is NO2 is minus. So, it is minus 6 is equal to 0. X is equal to plus 3. So, plus 3 state ellide. It can be option B or option C. 1 and D are ruled out. Now, we'll see sodium hexanitrito cobaltate 3. It is not nitrito. So, it cannot be option B. Sodium hexanitro cobalt. How can it be cobalt? It's an anionic complex. It should be cobaltate. So, it is not option C. It is not option D nor it is option A. So, this is a Grace Marks question. Okay. And what is the actual name? It is sodium hexa nitro cobaltate 3. Okay. This option is not there. That's why it is Grace Marks question. Okay. Next question. Thermodynamic standard conditions of temperature and pressure are 0 degrees Celsius and 1 atmosphere, 273 Kelvin and 101.3 kilopascal, 298 Kelvin and 1 atmosphere, 0 degrees Celsius and 101.3 kilopascals. They are asking thermodynamic standard conditions of temperature, room temperature. That is why it is 298 Kelvin and 1 atmospheric pressure. So, option C is the correct answer. Okay. Next question. How many chiral carbon atoms are present in 2, 3, 4 trichloropentane? 3, 2, 1, 4. So, I'll write the structure here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 2. So, 2, 3, 4. Trichloropentane. So, rest all are hydrogen atoms. Now, chiral carbon, this cannot be chiral. This also cannot be chiral. This can be because one CH3 group, one H group, one Cl and one big group is present. So, this is chiral. Okay. Even same way, this is chiral. But this cannot be chiral. Why? This group as well as this group, it is same. So, this cannot be chiral. So, there are only 2 chiral carbon atoms. And that is the question. How many chiral carbon atoms are present? So, it is Option B, 2. Why not this one third carbon atom? Because we have symmetrical two types of groups which is same. So it cannot be chiral. Okay. Next question. The number of unidentate ligands in the complex ion is called EAN, coordination number, primary valency, oxidation number. Unidentate ligand, the number of ligands which is present around, and if it is a unidentate ligand, it's equal to the number of coordination bonds which is formed. That means it is equal to the coordination number. So it is option B. ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೂನಿಡೆಂಟೇಟ್ ಲಿಗ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಲಿಗ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಷನ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಷನ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ದ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಷನ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ದಿ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಅಯಾನ್, ಅದು ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಷನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್. SO2O2 V2O5 vanadium pentoxide is an example of irreversible reaction, heterogeneous catalysis, homogeneous catalysis, neutralization reaction. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಇದು ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಇದೆ. So it should be an example for heterogeneous catalysis. So option B is the correct answer. ಇದು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸಲ್ಫರ್ ಟ್ರೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಇರ್ರಿವರ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ರಿವರ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಹೋಮೋಜಿನಸ್ ಅಂತೂ ಆಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಹೆಟಿರೋಜಿನಸ್ catalysis. Okay, next question. The amino acid which is not optically active. See, read the question. Not optically active. Glycine, alanine, serine, lactic acid. It is glycine. We know that it is glycine which is not optically active because there is no chiral carbon atom. Two hydrogen bonds are present on the same carbon atom, isn't it? Glycine structure eno NH2 group, COOH group, ಎರಡು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಕೈರಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲದರಲ್ಲೂ ಕಿರಾಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ. That's why it's optically active. Here it is not optically active. Okay, we'll go to the next question. For a stable molecule, the value of bond order must be negative, positive, 0. There is no relation between stability and bond order. See, as the bond order increases, stability also increases. For example, you just take nitrogen molecule, nitrogen gas, it has got triple bond. That's why it is not reactive at all, no? So bond order is 3, so it's highly stable. So we have to remember that bond order increases, stability also increases. It is directly proportional. So it should be a positive value. So it is option B, which is positive. Okay, next one. Which one of the following is the second order reaction? It's a factual question which you have to know the examples which is there in your NCERT textbooks. Of course, you cannot just look into the reaction and tell order of the reaction because it's experimentally determined. Isn't it? Rate expression kotre we can tell the order. But just by looking into the balanced chemical equation, we cannot tell. But here, you should know the examples which is there in your NCERT textbook. So, which is the one which follows second order kinetics? It is the first one, CH3CO CH3 plus NaOH giving CH3CO Na and H2O. This is the one which follows second order kinetics. Okay, next question. According to Bayer's strain theory, which is highly stable? Cyclohexane, cycloheptane, cyclopentane, cyclobutane. Now what is Bayer's strain theory? In Bayer's strain theory, it is told that any molecule which is deviating from the 109.5 degree angle will produce a strain in the molecule. Higher the deviation, more is the strain in the molecule. Okay, so if you see all of these, what is given? The actual order of stability, okay, based on Bayer's strain theory is cyclopentane is more stable, then comes cyclohexane, then comes cyclobutane, and then comes cyclopropane. Okay, Why cyclopentane is more stable than cyclohexane? That is because cyclopentane has got 108 degree, which is very close to the ideal angle, that is 109.5 degree. That is why cyclopentane is more stable than cyclohexane or heptane, where number of carbon atoms are more there and the strain is more compared to that of cyclopentane, where it is very close to one another. So, cyclopentane is the correct answer. Option C will be correct. So, I hope you have understood. Bayes considered 109.5 degree to be the ideal angle for any molecule. So, anything that is deviating from this will produce a strain in the molecule. More the deviation, more will be the strain. Okay. So, that's about the 36th question. Next one is the number of antibonding electron pairs in CO2 2- molecule ion on the basis of molecular orbital theory is atomic number of oxygen is 18. As this was wrong, this is a grace mark question. But what is the correct answer? Because we know the atomic number of oxygen is 8, alva. So the number of electrons here is 18. Why? 8 plus 8 is 16 plus 2 extra is there. 18 electrons are present. So what is the number of antibonding electron pairs ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. So it is sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2. We have got 2, 4, 6, 8. Then we have got sigma 2pz2, then we have got pi 2px2, pi 2py2. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Then we have got pi star 2px2, because 2 electrons extra there, I am writing it to pi star 2py2. Okay. Now they are asking number of electron pairs. So antibonding 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 electron pairs or 8 electrons are present in antibonding molecular orbital. Okay. So 4 is the correct answer. Next question. Hydroxyl ion concentration of 1 molar HCl is 1 into 10 power minus 14 mole per dm cube, 1 into 10 power minus 1 mole per dm cube, 1 into 10 power minus 13 mole per dm cube, 1 into 10 power 1 mole per dm cube. So here hydroxyl ion concentration in 1 molar HCl. HCl ಅಲ್ಲಿ hydroxyl ಹೇಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? Water is present. Okay. So from HCl, H plus ion concentration is 1. So from ionic product of water, we know it is 10 to the power minus 14. So this is 1. So OH minus should be 1 into 10 to the power minus 14 mole per dm cube. So 1 into 10 power minus 14 mole per dm cube. Option A is the right answer. So we'll go to the next question. Geometrical isomerism is shown by. For geometrical isomerism, which are the types which we have? Cis and trans. Correct alva? Erad geometrical isomerism ide. One cis, one trans. When it will show? It will show around the carbon-carbon double bond. Here carbon-carbon single bond, carbon-carbon triple bond, none of these, and carbon-carbon double bond. This should be the correct answer, but this question was given grace again. Why? Even around carbon-carbon double bond, it is not necessary that it should show geometrical isomerism. Why? Because if all of these are same, A, ಒಂದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಬೇರೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? Correct ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅಥವಾ what is the condition which is required? A, B and B, I can tell this is trans, and I do this opposite, I'll get cis. Only when the groups which is attached to carbon-carbon double bond two of them are identical. If it is of this type, then it will show geometrical isomerism. Otherwise, it will not show. Adhan il mention madila. Most probably for that, this question is a grace marks question. I don't know if there is any other reason why exactly this is a grace marks question. Okay. So, geometrical isomerism is shown by complexes which can have carbon-carbon double bond with non-identical groups attached to the carbon atom. Okay. So, that's about 39th question. 40th one, the oxidation state of iron in K4FeCN6 is 2341. I'll just calculate it off. Potassium is +1, 4 are there, so +4 plus X. Cyanide is -1 into 6 is equal to 0. X is equal to 6 minus 4. X is equal to +2. So, option A is the correct answer, where the oxidation state of iron is +2 state. So, I hope you have understood even part 2 of Karnataka CET 2007 chemistry paper. This paper is quite easy. So, we'll see what we have in store for us in part 3. Stay tuned, children. Thank you.